Uh-oh. Listen, I see y'all in the chat box.
There you go.
And hey, boss, they said you
Come
polluted
on
my show.
inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
Come on in, man. Come on.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. Now, how many of y'all can get Voch to produce your show?
They can't.
That's just how cool that I am. Right? I got Mr. Voch Lombardi with me tonight. Voch, what's going on, homie?
Life good, man. I can't complain about nothing, man. See, what they don't know for is that me and you friends in real life. So you can, you know what I mean? You can pull a mess like this, you know what I mean?
Hey, listen, when I say me and Voch friends in real life, we be having like real life draft arguments. We be having like real life football arguments, but we always come back to the common good. Like, all right, Foots, if it doesn't work out like this, then I'm gonna hold you accountable, and then vice versa. And we do that. And just a quick housekeeping note. Just so you guys know, I'll be doing our offense versus our opponent's defenses on Tuesdays, and I'm gonna try to get Voch as consistently as possible. If I can't, that's okay. I'll have somebody on, and then on Wednesday or Thursday, I'll be doing our defense versus other teams' offenses. Now you can catch Voch Lombardi every day on the volume, along with where else are you at, Voch? Real quick.
Monday through Thursday on the volume at 3 Central. Me and Will Steele. You can check me on Bleacher Report also for coming
Bleacher Report. Hey, can you do a drop for that real quick, Voch? That's big, y'all.
Hey man, we ain't doing that.
No, we gonna celebrate my man, dog.
You know what I mean? We got
this guy weak, Voch. I'm sorry.
No, you good. We doing that. We got all kind of little shows on there, so be sure to tap in with me under the Cowboys tab and under the NFL, possibly under the draft tab. And we're gonna get Foots on there soon, man. And just catch me on Twitter and social media. It's Voch Lombardi. We're working, man.
Voch, before we talk football, I want to do a check-in. I told myself this year when I talk to my brothers, I want to make sure that we could talk mental health. I want to make sure that we could talk anything life, because as much as we talk ball, I want to just make sure that we good, and I want to have those open conversations on air. So, Voch,
sure.
Are you good, my brother?
Hey, man, life good. I can't complain about nothing, Foots. Since we're having a real life conversation for the first 5 minutes, I have definitely gotten to a point in my life to where I feel like if I'm going through anything, I feel like I'm being tested. I feel like I'm being tested for humility. And I feel like I'm being tested for how much I can persevere through that situation. And I think I've been through enough bad times, Footsie King, and I've been through enough of them. I always talk about them on the internet. I think I've been through enough bad times to where in those bad times, I said, I would even call my mom and talk about it. I say, Ma, I call her crying and talk about it. I say, Ma, I'm going through bit. And we'll talk about what we should still be grateful about. You know what I'm saying? And I think I've been through enough. I've been through enough of that, and I've passed enough of those tests that I'm flourishing in life right now, and life is good. I can't complain about nothing, for King. When I say that, that's not me just saying passive conversation. I say life is good, and I ain't got nothing to complain about. That's something that I really, really mean, for King, because life is bad for somebody. But I just happen to be blessed in this particular period of time. So I ain't gonna complain about it.
And here's a transparent moment, right? Voch is, when I tell y'all this isn't an act with Voch, right? There's been times that I've called Voch, and Voch is younger than me. But he has that type of wisdom, right? Whereas there's been times that I've called Voch, and I'm like, Voch, what are we doing? It's been conversations that I'm like, where do we need to attack more? And Voch will tell me something just like that with his wisdom that'll say, you know what? We okay. Like, Foots, we where we supposed to be. You where you supposed to be. We're going to keep building this thing the right way. So when he says that, y'all, he really means that. And I think what people really wouldn't understand is that we really friends in real life. Like, we have real life conversations, and we'll probably say this every show. So we can disagree, and I'll be like, all right, Voch, it's cool. And, like, it's never animosity. I don't know about other people in other worlds, because I don't know if they're really friends or if they're co-workers or whatever. But, like, with me and Voch, it's really that. With me and Joe, is really that. With me and Sky, is really that. With me and Okoye, is really that. Yep. So when y'all see us, just know we pushing each other, but it's good energy.
It's love,
and it's always really love, man. And I'm gonna use that, Voch. I'm gonna go back replay that when I'm going through something, because that's it right there. Voch, I want to get to this Giants defense. And I really want to talk about who they are
Mhm.
and who they are not. But before we do that, we got a few people in here. I want
So,
to talk about one of our dynamic sponsors, somebody who stepped up to the plate and who is sponsoring the show for today. We are talking about the Real Insurance Lady. Yep, the Real Insurance Lady. So what they offer is health insurance throughout the Houston, Texas area, but they're all over the global. The best thing that you can get from health insurance is for free. Yes, 95% coverage. Okay. Applicants who apply get it at 0% cost. I mean, zero, excuse me, $0 per month. Affordable, cheap. Any type of insurance you need is quick and easy. Matter of fact, you can probably listen to this show. This show will take longer than it'll take you to get set up for this insurance, and you want to be covered. So make sure that you guys tap in with the Real Insurance Lady. I'll make sure that I leave all the information in the description box. All your insurance needs, make sure you guys tap in with the Real Insurance Lady. Now, and that's one of our dynamic sponsors. Now, Mr. Voch Lombardi, opening day for the Cowboys is
I was
Wednesday.
just running there for you in case they didn't know I was, I was just running.
Hey, all I'm saying is Voch really does it all. He's humble.
Shouts out
So,
insurance lady.
so listen, right?
Yeah.
Description in the description. I mean, information in the description box. Real Insurance Lady.
Get your insurance.
Voch, I went back and looked at our opening day record, right?
Yeah, man.
It's very all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But we have success against those Giants.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at this defense, Voch, and I got a bunch of notes written down.
Giants ain't beat us since Eli, bro.
This is why I got him, y'all. This is why I got him. But it's very interesting because you look at this defense, and we'll talk about their strengths and their weaknesses. It's not a bad young defense, Voch.
Yeah, they got a cool little setup over there. Yeah.
Right? A lot of guys we've covered.
Yeah, this the problem though, Foots.
Talk to me.
And this thing comes in levels. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're the Houston Texans, right? You're
Yes.
scrambling to get talent. Then you may be like another team, like you may be like the Browns or something, where you got talent in certain places or whatever, but you still got spots that's wide open as trash elsewhere. I think the Giants are a step over that, where they got talent all over the place, but it may not be coherent just yet. It may not be just one unit where it all makes sense. And I think that there's a big disparagement between how they build team and how they coach. I think they got fantastic coaches.
Yes.
But
Brian
that
Daboll's
roster,
a really good coach.
but that roster just really not ready to deal with what the Cowboys bring to them. Yeah, Footsie King. You know what I'm saying? Like they got two young corners. They got a lot of young corners in general. They got two rookie corners. Trey what's his face and Deontay Banks. Both of them are athletes, but both of them kind of deal with the mental processing differently. Both of them kind of gamble a little bit. That's not the kind of corners you want to have year one when you a Wink Martindale defense. You love to bring pressure and play cover zero, cover one. You know what I'm saying? And that especially works badly when you have a Dak Prescott who's king at identifying blitzes, king at throwing against blitzes. You got a veteran offensive line that can identify blitzes and gap exchanges and things of that nature. And then, Footsie King, you got like the man-on-man aspect, right? Yeah. You got route runners for the Cowboys. You got a deep threat for the Cowboys now. You got a running back that can, take advantage of the linebackers and things of that nature. Foots, we defeated the New York Giants, right? Once with Cooper Rush.
Yes, and in New York.
You know what I'm saying? And once we already know, right? We defeated those Giants twice with a lack of speed on the outside and a lack of speed at the running back position.
Yes.
And we ran curls and verticals. Imagine, Brother Foots, this team that hasn't beaten Dak Prescott since 2016. What in tarnation can they do with Dak Prescott, who's one of the top three quarterbacks versus the blitz, Footsie King? Running back Tony Pollard, who's a nightmare one-on-one passing game versus any one of your linebackers, pick him.
Yeah.
And your young corners having to deal with a healthy Michael Gallup now and a route running deep ball Brandon Cooks.
So let's talk about it, Voch. So
please.
A few names in Voch, he hit it. Listen, it's game week, so we're bringing our fastball early. We're not gonna set up the sliders or the change up pitches.
We running it.
Listen, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Ashawn Robinson, Azeez Azalari, they have those guys. Kayvon
You know,
Thibodeau is one of those guys that we covered. Vouchers on him early. When you talk about the strength of this defense,
sure.
it's their D line. Now, for me, Voch, Leonard Williams, I feel like he won't give us issues. And I want to get to this is where we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this thing, Voch.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find out who on that defensive line will give us stress. The film that I watched, Dexter Lawrence, it's Dexter Lawrence in the run game scares me, but doesn't scare me to the point that I think he can wreck the game.
Yeah.
The one that I'm watching, Voch, Kayvon Thibodeau. Now, I want to go. We're gonna get to the young corners because I got a few questions for you. But with your expertise of this line, because one thing you guys haven't subscribed to Voch's Patreon, when he does his line work, that's what Voch does. So, Voch, watching our line, do you see an issue, or would there be an issue with us running the ball versus this loaded front?
Run the ball, no. I don't think we're gonna have problems running the ball at all. Kayvon gave Tyler some problems in pass rush last year. I don't want to say it's because Tyler was young, because they both were young. You know what I'm saying? Kayvon just had a good day versus Tyler the other time. I think Kayvon was hurt or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But in the run game in particular, Foots, I don't have a problem with what's going on in the run game, because I think that's where we're better. We've had our challenges pass rushing or whatever. I think you somewhat, pass pro. Yeah. You can somewhat fix that with just time and experience and just being healthy, first and foremost. But Terrence Steele and Zach Martin as a combo,
yes.
Deadly. Tyler, hold up, Footsie Kid. Did you hear Keyshawn Johnson? They called him Tyler.
Bigger dish.
He called him that earlier.
That was hilarious when you retweeted that. I was like, what is he talking about?
Bigger dish.
Tyler Biadasz is a fantastic help. Right, so whether it be combos versus Ashawn or combos versus Dexter Lawrence, or if Leonard Williams just happened to be slid inside somewhere, then you have combos versus him. I'm fine with that. Where these one-on-ones come from is if these guys line up in B gap. I don't know if Tyler Smith is going to be playing because of his hamstring or whatever. We'll see. But
we've heard that it's not as bad as we think, but let's hope so.
If they say it's fine, then I trust Tyler Smith and Zach Martin one-on-one blocking anybody in B gap. That's just how I feel. Yes. Where you can get in trouble,
middle of that offense, yes.
Where you can get in trouble is that the Giants are athletic going sideways, right? Okay. So Bobby Okereke, Ojulari, Thibodeau, they can get sideways, but we got athletes at tackle. You know what I'm saying? We got Tyron and Terrence at tackle. Yes. So I don't think we're gonna have that much of a problem running against these guys. Zeke had 90 yards and Tony had 80 or something like that running versus the Giants. But I think where you really beat the hell out the Giants is throwing the ball against them. I think
don't bury that lead, Voch. We gonna get to that. Don't bury that lead.
My fault.
I don't want you, because I want to really. So how we throw the ball, Voch. Mm-hmm. So Voch just told you that we won't have issues in the run game. Possibly in pass pro, we'll see. Mm-hmm. Is that's what I'm hearing correctly, right, Voch?
I don't think we'll have that much of a problem running the ball, but I think we're going to make our biggest impact. We're going to do our most damage throwing the football,
passing the football. So one of my game plans, and that I was sitting on. First of all, you got into it earlier about what we were doing last year schematically,
right?
And what you said was early on, I wrote it down: curls, bad scheme,
verticals,
verticals.
That's it.
No answers, nothing quick, nothing really. Like Dak has a great deep ball, but I think he's extremely accurate intermediately.
Right.
The numbers say that.
Right.
I think, Voch, this West Coast scheme, if I'm not mistaken, really will attack them with guys like Brandon Cooks. Now, here's what I'm thinking, Voch, and you let me know. This is one of the questions I want to ask you. Mm-hmm. Do you come out and say Deonte Banks, Trey Hawkins, two rookies that are both starting? Yeah. Do you come out and say, I love running the football, but you're going to have to show me? I wrote this down, Voch. I said, show me. It's on my notes, Voch. Look, it's on my notes. Show me. And I have it pointed to rookies. show me, Voch. They're gonna have to show me that you can guard Sidorius Lamb.
There, yeah.
Sit there.
Sit there.
Voch, don't make me a drop.
CD.
Don't make me a drop, Voch.
I got you.
You got to show me, and then what I think what may happen is they start showing more too high structures.
Yes.
And then we run the ball. What do you think about that, Voch?
Yes, that's how you beat them, right? Okay. Wink is gonna blitz.
Wink is gonna blitz.
We know
I'm
that.
in the DMV area. I got a lot of Baltimore friends. Wink is going to get ready, y'all. He's blitzing.
He's gonna blitz. He's gonna show you a lot of and look, this my thing for like last year he showed us a lot of 0-on-1. Okay. But we didn't have speed on the outside, so it makes sense that he'll show a 0-on-1. Will Steele told me earlier that he's a guy that's gonna live and die by 1-0 blitzing, right? He's gonna live and die by 1-0.
For those of you guys who don't know, that's basically zero coverages. There's nobody on the back end.
Either
cover one.
Either man no safety or man one safety.
Yeah,
that's 0-on-1, right? So Will said he's gonna live and die by 0-on-1 foot. So in my mind, I go back to think about, well, what have we seen from this new? They call it Texas Coast Foots. I'm not gonna call it. I'm either gonna call it Tex Coast or Frisco's, right? That's what I'm gonna call it. If I know anything about this offense, Foots, and it's just general football, I know how to beat man coverage, right?
Correct.
Route running, quick game.
That's it.
Screens versus blitz. Crossing routes.
Yes.
And Foots, West Coast, this new shit that we do. Picks and rubs.
Yeah, especially when you send those 8-man pressures or do you send those +1 pressures? Absolutely, because what happens is they get lost. Yeah, and you throw the ball right behind them. Yeah,
picks and rubs versus these young boys. Then you have savvy veteran Brandon Cooks, who's a route running genius. He just happens to be faster than you. Because look, Deontay Banks and Trey, what's his face from Old Dominion?
Yeah,
young boy. They're athletes. They don't make their living by being mental processing guy. They make their living by being athletes.
I watched Banks at Maryland.
Yeah.
For those of you guys who don't know, that's it. Voch is spot on with him. He was a 4.3 guy. He can run.
Take risks.
Yes, exact. And a lot like a Dory Jackson, he's little. So that's, I think, going to be the issue. And it is like, I do not want to draw CeeDee Lamb my first game ever playing corner in the league.
We'll see. This is a problem. This is a problem about CeeDee Lamb. This the part I ain't even mentioned yet. CeeDee Lamb plays slot. Adoree Jackson gonna have to play slot, or Darnay Holmes, in which we have footage of him whooping both of them children.
Yeah,
I just don't foresee this world where we have problems with them DBs. I think our wide receivers and Dak Prescott about to go crazy on Sunday.
Yeah, and on certain downs you sprinkle even a little bit of Jalen Tolbert. Voch, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Now we're talking meat and potatoes. Voch, when we talk about the blitz game, do our running backs in pass pro concern you at all?
Well, that's the problem. Not even the problem, but that's the one thing that you have to think about. It's not even the regular blitz stuff. It's the weird gap exchange things that they do. Where they'll run a tackle and nose stunt. And then they'll crash a N and B gap or something, then a linebacker loop outside. Well, we got to know that the tackle just got to keep that B gap guy. And Tony got to step up and C gap to get that linebacker regardless, right? Yeah. Tony did a better job. Tony did a better job blocking in the second game or whatever. So I would feel like, hey, he's better than Tony. Now he'll have a better job identifying this stuff. If not, Dak can help him out through it. But dog, like that's the one thing that you have to worry about. Not just those guys beating you individually, because we good individually, but they're gonna do some weird, funky gap exchange up front. But what makes me comfortable with that is Terrence is used to playing next to Zach. Zach used to playing next to Biotish. I don't know what's gonna happen with Tyler and Tyron, but we know that most of this offensive line can work together. So I feel good about us all being veterans. At least Chuma Adoga's a veteran, and he's seen gap exchange before. So, we'll be fine.
Last O-line, D-line point, Voch, and then we'll move on to the back end. Then we'll let you go if you guys have any questions. Thank you guys all for tapping in. Thank you to our dynamic sponsor. And thank you to Voch Lombardi. Voch, first game of the year, the Tyler injury. Mm-hmm. Does Voch, the GM, Voch, the owner, Voch, the team builder, do we sit Tyler and just say we have enough to get through this game? This is a long road and hamstrings linger, or do we push Tyler out there and say this is something we got to deal with all year?
Well, it depends on what the real news is.
Okay.
If the news is what Jerry Jones reported, then he's fine. He just need to rest up till Sunday and he'll be good to go. If the news is what David Moore tweeted and said, hey, it's a hamstring strain,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, you probably should sit him and you don't want to mess around with hamstrings too much.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I saw David Moore's tweet.
Yeah. So it just depends, I want to hear what Mike McCarthy got to say. If Mike McCarthy says, hey man, I don't know, we'll see, then that means Terrence is fine. Tyler is fine. Because Mike McCarthy like to lie to us. Jerry Jones gives us the optimism, but sometimes the newspaper dudes gives us the, doom and gloom. Stephen Jones will at least tell the truth. And Mike McCarthy will lie to a point to where you know what the real truth is because you know Mike McCarthy lying.
Okay. That's a good one there, Voch. Okay, so as we move to the second level of this defense, Voch, and one of my deals with the Cowboys is the issue that I had, Bigger Dish.
Mm-hmm.
One of my deals with the Bigger Dish Cowboys is this, right? He really said that. I mean, come on. How did he get Biotis from Bigger? Where did he get the G?
Keyshawn. G is silent.
Keyshawn, listen.
Shouts out Key Mark.
Key, we love you, brother. You went to USC, the Jets. You played for the Cowboys, Tampa. We love you, but Keyshawn, you talking about Dallas? Come on, bro. You should have had somebody pronounce this. All right, I'm done.
It's on the paper. It's BI. It should be on the paper. That motherfucker said.
Where did the G come from? Hey, Key. Somebody scream, Key. Where did the G?
Because his middle name Gerald. Tyler Gerald Biotis.
He said Bigger Dish and kept moving, and Skip said, "Yeah." That's so, dog. We looking at the back end of this defense and the middle of this defense, and I believe that one thing that we know about the Cowboys and that we saw from Schottenheimer, even when he was Seattle, he will play action the hell out of you, and run little delays. He will run seam. He will run these deals to his tight ends.
Right.
Voch, these linebackers really don't do it for me. Michael McFadden, Isaiah Simmons, part of the whole Arizona tank deal, just throwing guys away.
Yeah.
Bobby Okereke. I think I might have said that right. I don't know.
What the name is?
I'm not gonna say it again. You won't give me.
Okereke.
Yeah, he came in from Indianapolis. He actually had a bunch of tackles. But my trick with tackles is, and I used to tell y'all this with Jalen Smith. You got to be careful because the tackle total can be very high, but where are they happening? So I used to say that all the time with tackles.
Jalen Smith.
Okereke is Voch got me right. So the point is this: the middle of that defense. Do we see this being maybe? This is this is a Ferguson game where you have these guys on the edge and quick game. We get Ferguson involved. We're doing certain things play action wise. Is that something that maybe we attack, or is it just strictly we want to attack these rookies?
I just think that's overthinking it. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
I think Ferguson's going to get his, right?
Right.
But if CD is first,
he needs to be first.
Cook's is second. Tony's going to be a mixture of like third somewhere, right?
Right.
I'm just going to imagine that the Old Dominion kid is going to be on Gallup. So now we asking questions, right? I know Deonte Banks is a physical corner. So I know he can deal with a guy like Gallup. But can your Old Dominion kid deal with Gallup's physicality? I've seen Gallup muscle people and yak people from just being bigger and stronger than people.
Gallup's a big guy.
I'm taking him for a ride. Old Dominion, old boy, I'm taking him for a ride for his king. I want to see him tackle and deal and catch slants from Michael Gallup. I want to see him deal with that. And what you were saying earlier, Foots, that's where Ferguson and company is going to get involved. If it's of course they're going to have their play action rollout, the little backdoor pass of the flats or whatever. But in a world to where we've beaten the dog crap out of them versus 1-0, and they go, all right, man, we got to back up a little bit. That's when Ferguson and CD goes even more crazy, and then we run the ball.
To your CD Lamb point, 87 yards in week 3 last year, 106 yards in week 12. CD is a giant killer. Until they stop it, I'm with Voch. Just kind of trying to figure out some different ways, but until they stop it, I think I'm with Voch. And then if they do stop it, I want to see Dallas have the I want to see Dallas have the balls to say, you know what? Now stop Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this isn't Deion Sanders we're playing shout out to prime in Colorado. I mean, you're playing a rookie.
And look, ultimately what you want first is you want to get up so early that you make Daniel Jones have to throw the football late. That's the key. That's the key. And then we really having fun. Then we just racking up sacks and picks at that point.
Absolutely. And you know the crazy thing is, Voch, we'll say that. Well, I'll say this for our defense attacking their offense. They don't have guys at receiver. I mean, Jalen Hyatt showed some things in preseason, but it's a lot different when you playing against Stephon and you got to deal with jams and he starts playing different ways and certain things. Oh, shout out to one of the ghosts who just opened up and dropped in the building. Shout out to my guy Sky. It's different when you're playing against those guys on the edge, right? Shout out to my guy Dirk too, one of my childhood friends. So to me, Voch, I like Jalen Hyatt, and I could just see him making a play, and the Cowboys fans say, "Oh, we should have drafted him." I covered Hyatt. I was on Sky's channel. I loved Hyatt, but I think Dallas, it paid dividends for Dallas to wait for Tolbert to develop, right? Voch, if there's one thing that could go wrong, we've talked about the flowers. Let's talk about the poo-poo. Sure. If there's one thing that could go wrong, if the toilet backs up in any type of way, right? What could that be for you on Sunday night?
And this is only Giants defense, or this is just either way?
You can go either way because we pretty much covered the defense.
We would have to make a lot of mistakes for us. We would have to do a lot of shooting ourselves in the foot. That team ain't better than us. They're not.
No, they're not. No, the roster's not better.
They're not as talented. They're not as cohesive. You know what I'm saying? They not complimentary of each other in that way. They just went and got a whole bunch of slot receivers. Just threw them all together.
The receiving core scares me.
And just expect Daniel Jones to do whatever. And then they're gonna throw a tight end in there. All right, Darren, save us. You know, they acquire talent, but it doesn't work in tandem with each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like CD and Brandon Cooks are like that guys. Gallup is a that guy. You know what I mean? Those guys aren't Daniel Jones guys. I just think they are like the two corners that they have are man cover guys. But are they like zero guys? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think we want people to understand this, right? There's a big difference between man and cover zero, and I think Sky did a good job of this. Listen, those blitzes don't get home, and CD catch a slant, and you break a tackle. That's going to the crib, dog.
It's a gamble.
Like, hey, Deonte Banks, this ain't, you know what I mean? Wake Forest, ACC, or whatever. This is a guy. And I think that's where, and a lot of end breakers with that West Coast vibe, that Texas Coast vibe, that if you don't get home, you're going to be in trouble. And so I like what you're saying about the mistakes.
This is how I look at it, Foots. They're a team that just got talented. We're a team that's refining some of our bad spots, or we have refined some of our bad spots. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like they're like, all right, y'all, we got a good team. Let's compete.
Yes.
We was competing years ago. Yes. You see what I'm saying? We just been fine tuning for the past couple of years while kicking their ass. You know what I'm saying? The only way Cooper Rush beat them last year.
Yes.
Throwing curls.
Don't get me started.
Handing the ball to Zeke 18 times.
Because we had to, because he's just Zeke, and that was don't get me started.
Man, dog.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Voch. Let me ask you this.
If anything happens, we did it. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. And run game design, right? Yeah. Do you still expect Tony Pollard's touches to stay in that 18 to 17?
Yeah, man, Tony gonna be all right. Look, if you look at Christian McCaffrey's game logs from last year, some games they need Christian McCaffrey to go 20 touches or whatever. Other games he hovering around like 14. You know what I'm saying? He's hovering around there. So look, this the Giants. I don't expect Tony to go like Tony probably go like big play crazy, but like touch crazy. I don't expect Tony to go too touch crazy. But like San Francisco, he may have to go touch crazy because we need big offense in that game. Man, I think it's gonna be a clinic, Foots.
Yeah, no, I think that we have a better roster. One player I do also want to shout out that we both covered, Voch, Xavier McKinney. He's turned into a nice player. It's just so crazy.
Man, you can't beat us with nice, Fuzz. That's my problem, dog. You can't just beat us. Hey, Fuzz, you watch UFC?
Yeah, a little bit. I know that's your bag.
Conor McGregor knocked out Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez, and Joe Rogan talking to Conor McGregor and said, "Man, look, Eddie a tough guy, man, but you got to have some attributes to beat me, dog. You got to have like range and length and speed or something." That's how I feel now, right? You can't just be a cool team and beat us. You got to have a Fred Warner, Nick Bosa combination of, you know what I mean? You got to have like
that defense, yes.
You got to have like a
regular guys, yeah.
Like a Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce type, you know what I mean? You got to have 16 Pro Bowlers on your team, Eagles. You know what I'm saying? But you just can't. You can't roll up in here talking about some Daniel Jones and Darren Waller about the, you know what I'm saying?
And when you and Voch, you could kind of tease the defense. I'm gonna come back on.
D-Law almost got 6 sacks on Evan Neal last year. You can't
Evan is a problem. Evan, it wasn't good for him to be drafted that high. It wasn't good. Now, Andrew Thomas developed.
Micah did too. Micah did too. Micah did too.
Hey, I want to throw a quick layup to Sky. He'll be breaking down Wink tomorrow, so you guys make sure you tap in with him. Voch, can I get 5 more minutes or you out? What we doing?
Man, hold on, Fuzz, man, because you got me worked up a little time.
Okay, see, this is what
Isaiah Hodgins. Hold on, Fuzz. Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell.
Those are
Jalen Hyatt.
That's not enough. I said that, Voch. That's not enough. Attributes.
You need some, you know what I mean? Sterling Shepard. I don't think Sterling's starting no more. Wandale. I remember Wandale from Kentucky. They overdrafted him. You need some attributes, my boy. This ain't
you know what? And the problem is this. You got better with Gilly, extremely better. And so now the problem is, and Micah said this, if you give me 2 more seconds, dog, I'm getting 20 sacks.
Fuzz,
you know what I'm saying?
Your worst corner got 5 picks last year, dog. hey, you need some. Hey, I need some attributes, Foots.
Hey, let's answer. Let me get you out of here, Voch. Let's answer this, and we'll do 3 more questions. Make sure you guys tap in. Let's tap in. I want you guys to tap in.
Jordan Lewis ain't even starting. I'm sorry for Jordan Lewis ain't even Bland starting.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, you know what, Dirk? And this is one of my childhood friends. Thank you for the super chat, Dirk. Dirk, I honestly don't think that Jordan Lewis would slow anybody down because he's not ready. Like, it's the weirdest thing. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Lewis. Y'all were down there, Voch. How does he look? I don't know.
He looked better than Wandale Robinson in the slot. I tell you that goddamn. Hey, dog, you gotta have some attributes, dog. Ben Bretson is just starting left guard.
They're gonna say Quan you to death. That's what Dayball's gonna do.
Glowinski is just starting right guard.
He's gonna say Quan you is gonna be. I can see Mesh Rail trying to get Saquon on wheel routes. I can see him in the flats. I can see it's gonna be a Saquon game. So when you talk defense, Voch, on your channel, you and Sky, y'all, I want to see how we gonna deal with
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
Saquon Barkley ain't got 100 yards on us in what 3 years? What?
He really has.
Hey man,
he really
I need some attribute, and then Fuzz, like Saquon last year, right? I think one game he got like 34 rush, the other game like 85, and one of them came from a long run. Hankins wasn't even around then, Foots.
No,
that was a Bohanna game. That was a Bohanna game, and Bo got cut. You know what I'm saying? Damone Clark is a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Anthony Barr, not being slow out there. Now you got to have some attributes, man. They might as well put Paris Campbell at running back or something. You need something, my guy.
And I'll just tease this, and then we'll get out of here. The only thing is you got to watch Daniel as a runner. He's sneaky. He had over 700 yards last year rushing.
Man, yeah.
He gonna get hit. He gonna get hit this game. He gonna get touched. But back to the offense side of the ball, Voch. So we've agreed that we're coming in the game with CeeDee Lamb as our focal point, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Come in the game, and then we play off that. If they start, they will be dumb. Well, Maybe not because Wink is Wink. Like one thing, Wink is not gonna change. I don't see him running much too. Voch. I don't see him running much 2-man under. I don't see him running much cover 2. I see him blitzing, and if that don't work, that's the game. So I think okay, this will be my overarching thought, right? I think that guys have to win when they get opportunities. Like let's say that they have a guy roll to CD and they somehow have taken Cooks out of the game. I think Gallup or Tolbert is going to have to win on a big third down at a point.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but if Wink is in 0,
yes,
and he's not getting away from 0 or 1, same thing to me, or 3 really, but he don't. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Cooks is there. Foots the King.
He's there, bro. He's there.
I can see a huge
Brandon. He walking 1K. God,
when CeeDee Lamb not ripping Adoree Jackson to shreds. You know what I'm saying? I could just see a world where Brandon Cooks is just working the young boy. If Deontay Banks loved to double, if he loved to guess and gamble,
yes,
versus Brandon Cooks, all right. They better get Waller involved, but shit, J-Ron Curse the tight end busters, and he healthy. This is week 1. If we'd have seen him in week 12 and J-Ron maybe started limping and shit, they'd be on him. Hey, J-Ron healthy, man. So I've seen.
And then we got baby J-Ron behind him in McQuarrie. Okay. Well, Voch, give me my theme music, guys, just so you know. I will be on with Voch for post game as I did every
Isaiah Hodges, now.
Well, you know what? What if they take advantage of Bigadish? We could be in trouble.
Bigadish gonna be fine, man. Go ahead, Phillips.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, I got Voch. It was only supposed to be 30. We gave y'all 35 minutes. Voch, where can they find you at? Just so y'all know, real quick. I will be on with Voch every post game, every game. We did it last year. We're going to do it this year. I'm going to try to get Voch in here on Tuesdays if he can. If not, we'll have a star. I want to get my boy Sky. Can everybody put a prayer emoji? I got to get Sky where just me and Sky just talk ball. He always has me on his channel, but y'all know I do the late night thing, so I want to get Sky on my channel. So everybody give me a prayer, and that is a problem.
Everybody else, you be doing work at like 3 p.m. You do work at noon. It's only me. I got to come out at midnight with you, man. You don't do me right, man. Come on, man.
Hey, prayer emojis for Sky. I got to get Sky on the channel out of his beautiful setup, and we in the trenches, Sky. Get your butt on here, man. Sky, where can they find you at? Excuse me, Voch, where can they find you at? And thank you for joining.
Well, they can find Sky on A to Z Dallas on YouTube, 8:30 to 10:30. Check him out in the morning. But you can catch me. Just type in Voch Lombardi on YouTube, VOCHLOMBARDI, Monday through Thursday. 3 p.m. Central, and I'll be on Bleach Report Wednesdays and whenever on the Cowboys and NFL tab. Salute.
Dog, the brother is he on with Shannon Sharp. He on with Colin Cowher. Like y'all, we getting a treat. Y'all playing. Listen, y'all playing. Y'all don't know who y'all talk. Stop playing so much. Voch, give me that drop. Listen, we gonna talk this thing up like Dion talked this thing out at Colorado. Quit playing so much. When y'all see the round table on ABC, stop playing, man.
We gonna get there.
Hey, much love to y'all. We're gonna beat the hell out of the Giants.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna do the Giants, bro.
Beat the shit out of them.
We ending on that note. Hey, Foots the King, shout out to our dynamic sponsors. It's your boy Foots as always. Thank y'all for liking, sharing, subscribe. Make sure y'all send this video around. Peace.
Shouts out insurance lady.